Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Hey, Metal. Hey, Aeon. Hey, Sleipnir. Hey, Falling. I hope that you've all had a wonderful day so far. Hi, Honeywyvern. How are you doing? I'm excited to be painting some Battletech for the first time in a little while. And I'm also excited to be painting my favorite mech. And I was thinking I could try and make this look like how I have it in Mech Warrior 5. My clan mechs in Mech Warrior 5. But I decided it's not just any Marauder, a Marauder 2C. Specifically a 2C10, my favorite Marauder. My favorite Marauder of all time, because it has 50 bazillion pulse lasers and an ERPPC. Good mech. Good mech. Murders everything. You're playing Motor Slice on your own since I didn't stream it. I'm gonna stream it instead of Kingdom Come because we finished it last night. Also, if I finish this, we'll start Motor Slice tonight. So, you know. Hell. Wait, is that multiplayer in Motor Slice? Is that? Is that multiplayer in Motor Slice? Because, I mean... No? Oh. In fairness, I don't think games need multiplayer anyway. But yeah. So I have a plan. I have a plan, a crazy plan. Because my plan for tonight is to paint it how I was thinking of changing my Emperor's Children color scheme. But then I realized that that wouldn't be any quicker than how I was painting them before. And then I realized I'm just gonna use spray paints to finish my Emperor's Children in pink. I mean, because you said you were playing it on your own, and I was like, oh my god, fuck, did you want to play together? Is that why you wanted to play it? And I was like, oh no. But yeah, we're going to be using some Turbo Dork paints tonight, starting with Let Them Eat Cake, which is a color. So it's going to look weird. We're going to be, getting the color shift paints on, and then we're going to be highlighting with black, and then applying another color shift paint on, so that you kind of use the two different color shifts as a sort of highlight on top of each other, because one color shift is substantially darker than the other. So my thinking is that's going to work out and be a really cool plan, and it's going to look great. And I definitely won't have any crazy complications by doing this very stupid plan. And Pink has been looking at BattleTech mechs. Also, if you're wondering how many BattleTech mechs I have, it's a lot of mechs. It's a lot of mechs. I mean, these aren't all of them. They're not the painted ones. But that's a lot of mechs I need to crack on with. BattleTech is such a cheap hobby compared to Warhammer. Can I just say this? Like, even if you just buy official CGL models, it's so much cheaper to get into than Warhammer. And that's true, because I had the whole early access yesterday because I got accepted into their creator program, which was really cool. And I feel a bit sad for not streaming it yesterday, but I kind of really, really, really wanted to finish Kingdom Come. I probably may have missed out on some new viewers, but that's okay. I like my cozy little community. It's a good time here. And that's all that matters. You want KCD3? I would like a KCD3, but there's no KCD3. Therefore, yeah, not a thing. Not a thing. Not a thing. I don't know if it ever will be a thing, but it's not a thing right now. So, I have a vague idea about how I want to paint this. Mostly. And it's going to involve a lot of dry brushing, because dry brushing is such a good way of painting miniatures, in my opinion. It just gets everything done really quickly, and it looks great. And yeah, you can do a lot of other techniques, but like dry brushing and overbrushing is great for like just blocking in all the colors.
Look out!
In
Here
general.
they come!
Theboy's Painting 336 just raided with 4 viewers.
The Boys Painting, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome chatters, welcome raiders. How was your stream? We're just getting started painting my favorite mech from Battletech. How are you doing? We're painting the Marauder 2C, which is my favorite mech. I know it's a clan mech, and some people will have opinions about clanners if they know Battletech. And that's okay. Because clan tech is kind of just everyone's tech at this point in the current setting. But how are you doing? What were you working on? What were you painting? Was it also something Battletech related, or was it something different? Was it something different? Was it something maybe... I don't know. Warhammer related, perhaps? We have a lot. We do Warhammer here as well sometimes. So welcome. I am Scuff. I am a variety streamer that does a lot of tabletop hobby content, video games, game reviews, community games nights. I hope you have a lovely time here. I will do my best to take care of your people. Thank you for trusting me with them. Just painting some Space Marine Devastated. Nice. Very nice. When you say Devastators, do you mean like Firstborn? Horus Heresy, or like actual like 40k Firstborn? Or Primaris Devastators, which I mean I don't know how many types of Devastators they come in. They all have their own like unit data sheet now, which is annoying for many reasons. But yeah, I'm experimenting with some color shift paints today, which you won't see for a little bit because it takes a while to build up the pigment and get them looking like they should. We are starting with Let Them Eat Cake, which is quite a dark blue-purple color shift, which I hope is going to start coming through soon after another coat or two. Of course, it's not going to be the only... There are going to be some non-color shift colors. As easy as it would be just to do them all in one quick coating. I kind of feel like that would be a bit lazy. And maybe not look as great as it could. I also really like the flat panels on this model because, like, it's going to be really easy to actually make out the color shift once it starts to take effect. Which is exciting. Very exciting. Hi, Evie. What's up, little cat? Sometimes we're joined by cats. They, terrorize me when I'm trying to paint. Or they just lurk. I have a separate cat cam if they lurk in the cat cam area. 40k first one. Very nice. Very, very nice. Which chapter are you doing them as? Kind of bothers me that anything Firstborn will no longer exist in 40k. The longer 40k goes on. I'm pretty sure Firstborn are no longer exist just in general as of 11th edition. Because I think, like, other than Centurions, unless they just decide to delete Centurions as a datasheet, and send them to Legends, I think that's kind of going to be it. Because the land speed is gone. Devastators are almost certainly going next edition, which is sad. Because they have, like... I think the only weapon they don't have for Devastators in a Primaris unit is grav weapons. And that's more of an AdMech thing these days, so I don't know that they'll ever get it, you know? Which is sad, but hey-ho. So it goes. Ultramarines. Fair enough. Will they use just use, or they just use retooled, or they just retooled the Centurions. Yeah, they could do that. They could do that. But I don't know. I personally don't like Centurions.
Hear the voices too?
Phoebos Painting 336 just followed.
Thank you for the follow, the boys painting. I hope you have a lovely time here. Evie, stop being a menace and let me paint. He's just jumping around, jumping up to get down. Yeah, we're starting to get that color shifting pigment showing up now. You should be able to start seeing it on the camera, maybe. It's still very dark, but we knew it would be quite dark. Maybe what I'll do, given how dark it is... I think I'll do one more coat of Let Them Eat Cake. And then with that, what I'll do is we'll start using Miami Sunset. Yeah, I really do like these Turbo Dork paints. Like, I know they say you should really use an airbrush with these, but I don't like airbrushes. And dry brushing is just as effective if you use a round brush. I'm certain there's something to do. It's more something to do with the way the paint's atomized in an airbrush than anything else. Cinco de Mayo. What does that mean? The 5th of May? The 5th time you ate mayonnaise? Why are you eating so much mayo? Oh, Mexican holiday. I didn't know that. You'd say in the next 5 years they'll probably be gone. Yeah. I reckon 11th edition is going to be the last time we see any Firstborn. And that's if we see them in 11th edition. Because I kind of felt like at the end of the Dawn of Fire series, they symbolically, like, the last Firstborn character was turned into Primaris in that book. And that was meant to be the big main kind of plot of Warhammer 40k. In the modern era, at least. Someone saw that. I don't know if it's the focus or the lighting, because I do see color on this. I do see color on that. But I don't know that it shows up for you guys, which is kind of sad. What do I do with the paintbrush I was using? It was right here. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Never mind. I'm just a bit silly. Sadly, you got to go be an adult for a short bit. You're going to like, thank you for the luck, and thank you again for sharing your community with me. I hope you get all the things you need to do done in a very stress-free and pain-free way. Because God knows adulting is hard. And that's a really nice, deep, metallic purple. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like, that looks fantastic. I was thinking I'd leave, I was thinking I wouldn't do the legs, but I might just use this as the color on the legs. It looks great. It looks great. You can just barely make out the color. That's how dark it is. Yeah, I really like it. It's super subtle. Super subtle. I wonder if it's because I use Maso Black as the base coat on this thing. Just to make sure it would be as dark as possible. Hi, Evie. Welcome back, little cat. Rex, how you doing? How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. I will probably start work on your guys soon. I need to build them first. Probably in the charity event I'm doing at the end of the month, I'll finally actually have the time to start working on them. Also, chat, yeah, I'm doing a charity event at the end of the month for a charity that supports kids with brain cancer. Because it's a very specific charity, but it was asked of me because a community member's daughter has cancer, and yeah, fuck cancer, chat. And they were like, please don't raise money for us, just like raise money for the charity that's supporting us, because it'll go further. And I think that makes sense. Gato hours, yes. Gato hours. I say this, Evie is like gone off to lurk somewhere. She's somewhere in the room. Somewhere in the room. Where, I do not know. I also need to figure out where I'm putting my tracker, because it keeps dying. Yeah, I figured just doing an all-over dry brush coat of this works for that initial thing. Then when I get the flat dry brush out, I can start, because it's still quite dark. We can use other, other color shifting paints to kind of work on as highlights on the other bits. But I think I'll use non-color shifting paints on the bits I want to stay black, because I don't want it to all just be one solid color. I might actually do some shading as well on the dark bits. I don't know how much of it you guys can see, but what do you think of that color? Pretty happy with that, honestly. I feel like it looks quite nice. It's a very pretty pigment. Hey Haru, what's up, little cat? Look at this creature lurking. Is she? I am currently using Turbo Dork Let Them Eat Cake, which is a color shifting paint that goes from a really, really dark metallic blue-black all the way up to a sort of deep brassy tinted purple. Sort of like a very, it's more like a very warm purple than anything else. But it's a color shifting paint, so like how much of that comes through on camera is hard for me to know. Very nice though. Turbo Dork has really cool colors. Like, you have to figure out how to make them work though. Because unless you're using an airbrush, which I despise using an airbrush, chat. Let me be as clear as possible. I refuse using an airbrush. It's just such a pain in the ass to clean the damn thing and maintain it. And I just don't think it's worth, like, because you can do everything with an airbrush manually. Everything an airbrush can do, you can do yourself with your hands if you are patient enough. And I've just realized I think I'd just rather get good instead of using an airbrush. Because airbrushes feel more chore than they are, like... They're meant to be a time saver. But I feel like it's just a lot easier just to use rattle cans for the time-saving thing. And you don't have to spend, like, ages disassembling and reassembling your airbrush to clean it. That's just, like, my opinion. Next, we're going to use Miami Sunset. It's a much more pinky color. Again, this is mostly just for the basic kind of overall color scheme at this point. Might switch to a slightly smaller brush as well. Maybe. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. I don't want to catch areas I don't actually want. Okay, smaller brush time. Do I want a round brush or do I want... a flat brush? I think I want a still... No, we'll go with the slightly larger but flat brush. I think because of how angular this thing is, it's probably the right choice. No, actually, maybe I should just use the big dry brush. I don't know. I just quite like these colors. This is a bit more pinkish than what we've used before. But it should still be quite dark in general. Just due to the nature of it, because they're kind of basically transparent paints that need to go over black in order to work. That might be too much. In fact, that was probably a bit too much. That's fine. We'll go in and recess shade that later. I'm hoping that now you guys might be able to see some of the more color shifty effects on this paint now that we're getting into brighter territory. Ah. Ah, need to get in there as well. Yeah, I really like the effect that we're starting to get in terms of like how the different colors look. What do you reckon, chat? Is that a nice color so far? Okay. You love the turbo, but you learned the hard way to check which base coats it recommends the color though. Yeah, it is not ideal when things go wrong with these turbo dork paints. But you can just keep building layer upon layer up to get cool effects over time, which is the end game here. Like, there's one more paint I'm gonna layer over this as like a final sort of like highlight on the main armor panels. There's a paint called Sugar Rush, which is a very pale pink kind of color, which will work as a nice sort of like almost edge highlight. Ah! I don't know how I'm going to do the jump jets on this thing. I'll probably just like do, I don't know, maybe like a blue kind of like glow effect on them. That'll probably be alright. Like they're just kind of firing or off or whatnot. Now this next highlight after this I won't do on the underside at all, because then it just won't make sense, I think. I'm liking this overall. Like, I think we've got a good color here. Still a bit darker than I would like. Hey Silver, how you doing? Hey Toby, sorry I need to catch up on chat. I need to catch up on chat. I just realized there's some things I've missed. Yeah, any form of cancer does suck. But like, I think it's important that we try and do our thing to support community members. So, you know, if someone asks me to support a charity because some bullshit has affected them, I will try and do that. So that's the plan for end of the month. We'll probably do the karaoke stream then, just because I think it'll be nice to kick it off with something a little bit different, you know? Be nice to kick off a special event with something that you don't get every day from me, is my general idea. I'm glad you're well. Okay. Now, Sugar Rush. I don't know how this one's going to look over this, but we will see. This should act as a natural highlight to everything else that's going on. We're mostly just trying to grab the edges with this. Okay. Then one other thing I think I should do is get a nice deep wash into all of the recesses and do another layer or two of this as a highlight. Yeah, a nice little ink wash into the recesses will probably go quite well. Okay. Let me mix that up. So I think I want carbon black and dioxazine purple together. With some speed paint medium. And that should work perfectly for what I want to get here. I don't want a full drop of carbon black, because this shit gets really hard to dilute. The same with the dioxazine purple, in all honesty. I'm hoping we'll have a nice, really... Oh, maybe actually I shouldn't go with purple. Get something that would contrast. Maybe something a little bit colder. Green, perhaps? Yeah, I reckon the right call here is a very dark green. Maybe I'll mix up 2 different batches and see which one I like. This is their Bachal. The Bachal of pigmentation. A very nice dark sea green. A lot darker than I'd planned it to be. A lot less weaker than I'd planned it to be. Oh. That should work. That should make that a lot darker. There we go. That should work really nicely. I ended up mixing the two a little bit. Oh, there's a hair on here. Get rid of that. Ooh, and that really brings out the purple. I like that. I like that a lot. How does that look on that? Ooh. I like that a lot. Hmm. The question is, do I want to do non-metallic on the leg bits, or do I... No. If we're using metallic, we should just stick with metallic. Because otherwise it's just going to look a bit weird. Just stick with true metallic. In my opinion. And it is just an opinion. And what I like isn't going to be to everyone's taste. And while I am painting this for a competition, it's actually mostly just because I kind of really wanted to paint this mini. When you all voted for me to paint the Scuff Cat Battlemech. Because this is it. This is the Scuff Cat Battlemech. When I have my new model, it will be either piloting this or an Imperial, a Cerastes Imperial Knight. Fuck, which is the Imperial Knight? It'll be a fancy thing. The one with the sword and the bolt gun. The big, giant Titan bolt gun. Why? Because it's cool. That's... For no other reason than that. Ah! Why? A boost. A boost. Pull away some of the excess there. There are some bits I would like to tint a bit darker with the rest. Yeah, no, that wash is doing wonders for the overall darkness here. Bravos, hello! Rule of cool is good. I know. How are you doing? Pretty happy with how this is looking out. Looking at though. I am also glad that there is a community choice award. So even if someone doesn't paint super well, if people like what they've done, they still have some kind of potential chance to win. Which is always nice. So, what are we thinking so far? What are we thinking so far? It's still a little bit darker than I would like, but like that will change eventually. See if I can push some of the edges to a brighter silvery tone is what I'm thinking at this point. So I think the overall base color is down. I need to figure out what I'm doing with these legs though. That also is an area I think needs improvement, because they're just very flat. And in fairness, I haven't really done much with the legs. I might just go over them a bit more in that original dark purple, because I do want them to have a splash of color. Then we've got all the little like joints and actuators, which I'll just do in silver, I think. Yeah. I think we've got a plan. Looks very close to the in-game skin. Oh, it'll get brighter by the end. It'll get brighter by the end, trust me. And I don't think it's funny, like, that Turbo Dork have child-proof fucking paint pots. It just kind of amuses me that it's a thing. Because it feels like the kind of thing that shouldn't be, you know? I also kind of like the idea of the Battlemech having different coloured legs like they're wearing pants. That just kind of amuses me. It tickles my funnies just a little bit. Just a little bit. Ah. Okay. I think it's time to get back to doing the Sugar Rush coat. That Marauder 2C is wearing the wrong trousers. No. Scuff for the Scuff Gods. Hey, Nelkin. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Can we get a shout out for Nelkin, please? They are wearing the correct trousers, as I have deemed it so. Doing good, taking easy after being way too busy the last 4. Well, you get to relax now. I know it's always a pain when you're like super busy and don't really have time to chill. Okay. I reckon when this dries, I might, I think my idea is I want to use some fluorescence to really, amp up the saturation, but I'm wondering if that's going to create a mattifying effect. I don't think it will, but I could be wrong, which would be very unfortunate. Very unfortunate if I am. Okay, let's work on some of the silvers now. Actually, no. There's one last thing I want to do. One last thing I want to do. We are going to use a paint I've never used before. By Vallejo, kindly supplied by the lovely people at Imps Gaming. I'm hoping this is going to really make it pop. It's a much brighter color than the others. Much brighter by a long way. Ah! Why? Hey, kitty. No MechWarrior soundtracks. No MechWarrior soundtracks, Jaeger, because, copyright, innit? So we've got Warhammer background music instead. Because Darktide's audio is copyright free, because Jasper Kidd is the fucking goat. As much as, like, MechWarrior has absolutely banger soundtracks. What do we think, chat? Is that just popping a little bit more now? I've never used Vallejo True Metallic Metal before, but it is the good shit. It's the good shit for this. Like, no debate, no discussion. I'm gonna have to get more. Especially for Battletech. Like, it's just really good. Really, really good. Liking the black, purple, silver metal coloring. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out, in all honesty. I need to... There are some things I need to... What is this in here? What is that? Oh, that's just a bit of pigment that's built up by accident. Look. Okay. What am I doing next? I guess we should do the actual metallics. That would probably make sense. This is the Scuff Cat mech. The Scuff Cat mech. The mech I would use if I were a pilot in the universe. Is my favorite mech. Is an assault mech with jump jets, and it moves incredibly quickly, and is it's like the armored core mech of, yeah, like if armored core, if that was an armored core mech in BattleTech, this would probably be the closest thing to it, even though it looks nothing like an armored core mech. You know the Mad 2C? Oh, that's fair. Well, I can't remember who likes BattleTech and MechCoria. What? Hi, Soggy. Okay. Okay. Kind of wanting to get a Mad at some point so you can customize it into the dark one. The Black Marauder. I don't know the lore of the Black Marauder. All I know is like it's some kind of legend and is a bit like meant to be supernatural is what people say about it, but like it's not, it's just a mech, right? That's my understanding of the Black Marauder. Talk to me about the Black Marauder. Give me the lore. It's said to regenerate and that its surfaces are too smooth and organic. Wait, what? That's crazy. How? That's is that not just rumors though? Has anyone who's actually seen it can confirm? You have a kind of interpretation of it for your MechWarrior Online Mad 2C? Oh, cool. The ones you saw are dead. The only thing that survived were recordings, data from their fallen mechs. Oh god, that sounds cool as fuck. I wonder what it is. I know there are, like, there is extraterrestrial life in BattleTech. It's just, like, not commonly, like, done anything with. Which I guess is kind of cool in a way. Because it's just, like, the idea that, hey, if we want to do a little bit more generic space opera from time to time, the BattleTech franchise can. But I'm kind of glad they focus on the more, like, humanist conflict. Because it just helps it feel a bit more down to earth. And a bit more real than things like Warhammer. Not that Warhammer's bad, it's just like a different vibe. You know? You'll know I love Warhammer. Do I want to make the sleeves black as well? Or silver as well? Yeah, I reckon it would look good if they were. Hey, Smokey. Trying to decide to make beef barley soup or shepherd's pie for dinner. Help. Well, the thing is, with soup, do you want something that you can, like... Do you want something that's, like, you can dunk bread into? That's the real question. Does that sound like it would be very comforting? Because soup tends to be, like... For me, soup tends to be, like, comfort food for when it's miserable outside, you know? That's how and when I like to eat soup. Or if I'm sick. But I also don't often make pie, so... But when I do make pie, it's a delicious treat. Today, I made a steak pasta Alfredo. Well, steak fettuccine Alfredo, and it was delicious. Very happy with how it turned out. Very happy with how it turned out. You're out of sandwiches, yeah. Then make pie. Make pie, because then you can't dunk bread into it. Like... A soup without bread is like an incomplete experience. Let's be real. Let's be real. And if it's an incomplete experience, it's not going to be... You'll constantly think, man, I kind of wish I had this to go with this. So, hey, Smokey, how are you doing? That's the way I view it. That's the way I view it. And as the streamer, I am the law. I see that Discord ping, Jaeger. I see it. I will check it in but a moment. I know I've seen Gambargan do Art of the Black Marauder, and and it looked fucking cool. View that as a xenomorph-like creature without more eyes. Oh, that's terrifying. That's terrifying. Why are they putting xenomorphs in Battletech? Everyone will die. Everyone will die. Oh god, that looks fucked up. Fucked up evil creature. But it's very cool. Battletech Gothic is a thing. That's true, but Battletech Gothic is not mainline Gothic. And the Black is not mainline Battletech. And the Black Marauder is part of mainline Battletech. Which is kind of bizarre in a very cool way to me. Do I want to just go straight into the really bright silver, or do I want to do a chainmail silver layer first? I should probably do a gradiating highlight. It won't take too long. Okay. I don't want to amp up the saturation on the purple. Thanks, Atticus. We've got a fair way to go before I'm calling it done, though. Fair way to go, yeah. Ah! Why? Something for everything. There are zombies too, sort of. Wait, what? Really? I've not really checked out BattleTech Gothic. I don't know if I will. Mostly because, as we can see, I have a lot of mechs I need to paint already. I do want to get BattleTech at Ace's Scouring Sands at some point. But, like... the only reason I've got all these out is because Pink is meant to pick out one more mech. I asked Pink to pick some more for her second Lance, because I reckon she needs a bit more variety from the mech stock she gets to pick from. And she decided to claim a Cataphract, a Kodiak, and an Atlas II as her new mechs. Scuff Cat Brigade, Canopian Catgirls who were inducted by Clan Novacat. Maybe. Maybe. But when Clan Novacat died, they became mercenaries. Because, you know, fuck, Clan Novacat got fucked. And, like, well, what else are they gonna do, right? Right? No one can begrudge them that. I'm excited also for us to be, like, learning how to play BattleTech. Because I haven't played it in years. I don't know if we're going to start with Alpha Strike or not. Because they are meant to be quite different systems, from what I've heard. Ah. Okay. Nice and simple. Now, I know, it might look a little bit too... it might look a little bit too silvery right now. Don't worry, we'll fix that. It is an intentional thing, after all. How does this work? Is this like a wash? It is like a wash. Excellent. Exactly what I was hoping for. control these the paint flow. You can't even play the classic MechWarrior soundtracks? Is that what you're doing? Oh no, I was dry brushing before. Now I'm just washing with I mostly dry brush, honestly. Even like to do my like tiny little highlights, I like to dry brush. It creates a tiny bit of volumetric shading. The way I do it. I feel like dry brushing is like one of the most important techniques I think a lot of people choose to neglect in favor of more strenuous ways of achieving the exact same results. And for me, I think it's important to show people a simpler way that gets them things done in a much faster way. That's not to say my way is better. My way is just something that works for me, and I think a lot of people can benefit from, you know, trying to keep things a bit simpler and more efficient. Because we only have so much time in the day, in the week, when, especially as like an adult with a full-time job and responsibility and shit to do. I think it's important to kind of focus on making painting goals easily achievable, you know? Things that we don't have to worry too much about, like... I don't know. I kind of feel like that dry brush, I kind of feel like I regret that wash. I feel like it needs to get darker. I feel like I need to push the contrast a little bit more. That's fine. I'm going to do exactly that in but a moment. Okay. And sometimes a little finger painting is nice to help blend things together. Never underestimate the power of the finger painting count. Do I mix my own paints for washes? Most of the time, yeah. Usually I use a custom, a mix of Liquitex inks and speed paint medium. The speed paint medium comes in a dropper bottle, which makes it infinitely better and more usable than contrast medium. And then that way you can get the consistency to be however it is you feel you want it to be. From like super thick and dark to like something that's barely visible. And also, I feel like a witch with a cauldron making potions and shit when I mix my own fucking... when I mix my own inks. That's like probably my favorite part about it. Only got paint paste and using water to stop pro alcohol mix. I mean, yeah, you can do the whole, you can do that, I guess, but like, I don't like having to deal with spirits and alcohol-based paints. A lot of bother, and a lot more can go wrong with them, in my opinion. It's like with oil washers. I used to love doing oil washers, but like, I also kind of don't like doing them anymore. Just because there's so much that can go wrong with them, and it's a lot of cleanup, and I'm just a lazy bitch a lot of the time, chat. Again, that's the driving factor in my general paint style, is I'm a lazy bitch that doesn't have that much time in the day for my hobbying. But I love my hobbies, and I love to spend a lot of time doing them, and I like to do them in big amounts. So, like, yeah. My philosophy is, you know, do what you can when you can. And if you can do a lot when you can do stuff, then that's ideal. Okay. Now there is but one final thing to do, and then the base armors will basically be ready. I will go over this again with the dark bits with another dry brush at some point. I don't know when. It'll probably be like one of the last things I do. But I think the purple is basically all good in the hood, as it were. Hey. Do I want to use... No, I don't want to use... Yes, I do want to use this. Okay. What I am doing now is just prepping volumetric highlights with a little eyeshadow sponge. A little eyeshadow sponge. Because fluorescent paints are basically transparent, you can kind of just do as much of this as you feel like you need to. And why we're doing this, it's to up the saturation. Just to up the saturation. Hi Evie, what's up little cat? No, bugger. And the great thing about fluorescents is that you can use them over metallics and they'll still kind of have most of their metallic kind of thing. They're just kind of there to up the saturation a bit. Watching another streamer and he has an Eevee to pet to a chinchilla. Oh, that's cute. But there can only be one. Their battle will be glorious. You have to have a Pokemon battle now, clearly. Clearly, this is what must happen. I say this, Eevee wouldn't win. She's such a dumb fuck. I love her. She wouldn't win any fights. She never wins any fights with Haru when they play fight. That's why you're always going to be an indoor kitty, isn't it, Evie? That's right. Because you wouldn't survive in the wild at all. Okay. What are we thinking, chat? What are we thinking? A little bit pinker than I thought it would end up, but like... Yeah. I don't dislike how this is turning out. Or this has turned out, rather. One last wash, maybe, just to darken it down a bit, but... Maybe not. Maybe not. Lightning Reflex Rodent versus Lazy Alolan Meowth, lol. Yeah, it does pop quite nicely, honestly. Sadly, I don't have any fluorescent violet. I had one somewhere, but it's gone missing. And I'll be honest, the Vallejo fluorescent paints are all a bit shit. whenever I've used them. We could deepen some of the contrast a little bit, maybe. That might be an idea. Just a little bit more depth. Just a hint of dioxazine purple. Just a hint. That's too thin. That is once again happening here. Why is it black? You're meant to be purple. What's going on here? Oh, well, that's the wrong paint. That's why it's black. That's black paint, not purple paint. Again, this is my problem with dioxazine purple, is it looks really dark, but it's not. It's like this really rich imperial purple. And it's one of my favorite colors. But sometimes it's just a bit deceptive, especially since I use both black and dioxazine together a lot of the time. Just, bit more shade in here. Just to push the contrast a little bit more. Little finger blend. Evie, what's up, little cat? Why are you screaming at me? Okay. Not much more. Maybe use the purple pink more at the hip and the knee. Oh, don't worry. I have plans, you see. I have plans. Ah. Why? Stuff schemes, I do. I do in fact scheme. Man, this did end up becoming way pinker than I'd planned. Oh well. I don't think it's a bad look in all. Grey hairs just on them. Really annoying me. What? A random hair. Okay. Next. Hmm. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay. Some people may recognize the way I've painted these upper leg bits here from when I was doing my original Emperor's Children's game. That really deep, dark, rich purple, which I adore. So it's largely not what we were looking overall for the color of the miniature.
More
God.
souls to feast upon!
Hey, Small.
Tyrannosaurus_Texan gifted a tier 1 subscription to Smolan Strong.
Basically, the intent and nickname you've adopted from another streamer is Rexon. I like that. Rexon, hey Small, how are you doing? Thank you for the gift sub. How are you doing, Small? What do you think of our little murder bot? Our little murder mech. Cool. Right, well, I'm almost done with that bit. I think I just need a very gentle dry brush to highlight the silvery. Tiniest little. Lovely to see you as always. You have a nice day. Hey Morton, how you doing? You're playing MechWarrior 5 right now? Sick. You bought the Alpha Strike starter box. Based. Alpha Strike is very cool. What I've seen of it, it's very quick to get into, which I do like. You should expect some Battletech tabletop at some point soon on this channel. With actual minis. I might have a little bit of a problem with Battletech though. Not a bad problem. The problem is, it's quite cheap. It's quite cheap, and you don't need that much to, It's quite cheap compared to Warhammer. Quite cheap compared to Warhammer. And, yeah. You end up just accidentally, you know, oopsing all the mechs into your house. from my experience. There are a couple I don't have that I want to get. Like, I want to get the Scouring Sand set. Mostly because I want a Bane, and, you know, I wouldn't say no to another Marauder 2C. First world problems. I mean, I feel like what you mean is, I mean... I may have a couple of battalions of Battlemechs. I have more as well. Like I have like my favorites picked out and put aside in a custom lance. Look, we have a crab. A weekly crab. I kind of decided to set all these up, and I kind of decided to set all these up to be like, hey Pink, pick some out for your second lance. And Pink has picked a Kodiak, a Cataphract, and what else did she pick? It was an Atlas 2. Fortunately, mechs are not like... Battletech mechs are pretty quick to paint. I mean, the only reason why I'm taking so long and doing so much on this one is because it is, in fact, a competition piece. Though, I mean, I know already I'm probably not going to win. But, you know, it's an excuse to motivate myself to try new things. Which I need every now and again, you know? But who knows? Maybe someone will really like the style I've done here. Which would be really cool. Yeah, my partner's also, Pink is also getting into Battletech. Like, I kind of sat her down while I was, and was like, hey, she was playing on a Steam Deck, and I was like watching Tex Talks Battletech in the background, and then she just passively got absorbed into the world of Battletech and started to get into it, and was like, oh yeah, no, I guess I can't wait to play tabletop. And I was like, okay, pick some fucking mechs. I may or may not have used that as an excuse to get more mechs, chat. Don't worry about that. There's a couple I want to get. I want to get the Scouring Sand set. And I think that's it, really. I've kind of got all the mechs that I know I like. And I do want to get the new core box that comes out in fall. Just because, like, I love the Uziel. I like the Marauder, the Mad Cat Mark II. Yeah. So my partner has almost 2 full lancers that she will paint eventually. Like, her original lance is a Black Knight, an Archer, an Enforcer, and a Phoenix Hawk. It's a pretty good mix of mechs, honestly. Like, it's very fast. And has a not insufficient amount of fire support for most kinds of battles. She needs to pick... I've told her she needs to pick a light just to balance it out, because she's got 2 heavies, 2 assault. She's got 3 heavies, 2 assaults, 2 mediums. She should have a little fast fuck. A little fast fuck. Just a little guy. Just a little guy to yip around the battlefield, being fast as fuck. But then again, you could get away with using like a Viper clan medium for that as well. Like, that is also an option. Kind of feels a little bit Tron-like, honestly. I don't normally go this into, like, highlights and the like. But yeah, what else do I need to do? I know. What's up, little EB? I need to do the cockpit lens. Which should be quite quick to do, honestly. The longest part about it is going to literally just be waiting for the paint to dry. And then we will also be doing the weapon effects, which will be fun. Much more forgiving than doing eye lenses on a space marine. I want to push the contrast on the lens just a little. You know? Okay. Try and create a little bit more of a show up. Okay. Weapon effect time. So, this thing has 1 ERPPC, 2 medium pulse lasers, 2 small pulse lasers, and 2 ER small lasers. Means I need fluorescent blue, green, and represent each of these different weapons. Start with the blue. And then the green. And last we'll do the red. The next week I'm gonna try and off stream I'm gonna try and build a Cerastus Knight to paint next week. Is the plan. Now I just need a fluorescent red. Orange might do just as well though. I wonder if the Marauder 2, if it ever gets added, the Marauder 2C, if it ever gets added to MechWarrior 5, is going to actually look like the clan version, or if they're going to make it look like just the Inner Sphere version. Be sad if they don't make it look like the clan version if it ever gets added. Yeah, no, I think I do need red. Oh! Oh, I didn't realize they sealed the proacral stuff. Like, properly seal it. Oh, that's so weird. Oh god, oh. That's... Oh, I need to clean my hands before I do anything. That's a lot of spillage. Got red on me, chat. I can just pro-acryl paint though. Never used it before. Monument Hobbies, if I recall. Never used it before, but it feels quite nice. I think there's one more thing I want to do very quickly.
Look out! Here they come!
Ganger just raided with 3 viewers.
Hey, Hungry. Your favorite range? I've never used them before. Like, I got the pro acryls from you guys when I was like, ooh, how do I wanna paint these trees? And I was like, I'll set them on fire. Like, okay, I'll get all these neon things, these fluorescent things, and I think it was a good decision. Pretty happy with how this is turning out. How you doing, Mari? Lovely to see you. How was Expedition 33? Oh, Hungry. I was wondering. At the end of the month, I'm gonna be doing a little charity event. You reckon Imps has some stuff they want to get rid of that we can raffle off for charity for people who donate above a certain amount? Or something. I don't know. I don't know how charity events work. I mean, I say this, I just get donations and give them to the charity. Well. But incentives are nice for people. Is why I thought I would poke while you were here. You can definitely help charity stuff, your choice of stuff, or vouchers. Oh shit! Given the fact that our community is quite international, I reckon stuff might be the best option. I don't know. I don't know what the whole international shipping kind of thing is like. Stuff for scuff. Yeah. Stuff for scuff. It is it's a charity that like is for helping kids with cancer, with specifically brain cancer. Seems like a good cause that I feel like anyone can get behind. Huh. What is this track? Oh, fuck. Man, I don't know why it decided to switch to Cyberpunk. I was like, this doesn't sound quite like Darktide. Well, fuck. I mean, Darktide has a great soundtrack. That's a little bit annoying though. Like, I guess I didn't have it set to repeat, but I thought I did. Well, this VOD is no longer going to be monetized. Fuck, man. That's fine though. I can live with that. What do we think, chat? Is this mech looking done? I quite like how it's turned out, in all honesty. Darktide OST is kind of like bog techno. Lol. Bog techno. That's not something I think I've ever heard before, but maybe. That's funny. Genuinely, I've never heard anyone call anything bog techno before. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Swamp people if they got some PCs. Holy shit, metal. Wow. Wow. Holy sh... Ah. That's funny. That's funny. That's really funny. That amuses me. It amuses me greatly. Okay. Now to the basing. To the basing. True though. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it's not true. All I'm saying is that I've never heard anything called that before, and it's just like, yeah, no. What can I say to that? It's true. Okay, I need to grab my paint pens and side of the room. Still can't get over fucking bog techno. It's such a funny fucking term. I love it. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that's basically done. Maybe I'll come back to it down the line if I spot anything. But I don't think this is a bad shout. I don't think this has turned out terribly. Actually, there's one thing I want to correct. Cool. Yeah, okay. Let's get this base rimmed. I like rimming these hex spaces more than round bases. There's something about it just feels a little bit nicer, you know? Okay. Now, what do I need? I need a little bit this paper clip, and I need this PVA glue. And now we give it when I was shaking off a bunch of excess sand, my cats ran over to it, the bag, thinking I was getting a treat out for them. Poor guys. Andy, Andy, Andy! How you doing? Hi. Lovely to see you. I hope that you have been well. Ah! Why? A boost. How are you doing, Andy? It's lovely to see you. Have you been having a nice day? I hope so. Cats, you're not eating my basing sand. It's not a treat. It's literally technically aquarium sand. Or possibly reptile enclosure sand. I can't remember which. But it's cheaper than actual basing material and probably a little bit better. Man, I have a massive bag of this shit, and like I'll probably have to have like 3 or 4 full armies based in it, like of Warhammer, not BattleTech, before it's even like remotely done. Which is kind of cool because I already know I'm going to be basing my Drakari in it, and Pink is probably going to base her orcs with that. Still under the weather? Wah. You better get well soon, okay? Make sure you are having lots of rest and drinking lots of soup. Go over paintbrush again around the base. Brian, I am proud of you. I know it can be hard to take care of yourself when you're sick. You're a good bean, okay? Don't you forget. Okay. I don't think that's bad at all. I feel like the color shift doesn't really come through anymore, given how many different layers of paint have gone on top of it. But I feel like it was a pretty nice base to start. You can still kind of see some of the shimmer, even if it's only slight. I'm wondering if I want to put any freehand on it anywhere. But would I even add as freehand? The panels aren't particularly big for it is my main issue. Like, what would I add as freehand? I could maybe do those little stripy stripes that I've got on my cheeks, but where would they go? Where would they go? I'm not adding scales. Night Lord Thunder effect. You know the one when my hood is. You see this, the ones on the side of my face? That's what I'm thinking. Wow. Wait, what do you mean which cheeks? What do you mean? What do you mean, Rexon? What do you mean? What are you talking about, Tyrannosaurus Texan? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. Explain. Hmm? Explain. What? Why? Why? But yeah, no, I don't think this is too bad, honestly. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. Got all those lasers ready to murderize everything. Actually, I'm seeing some stuff I could fix. Blend this a little bit better. Yeah. What I do with adding a couple bits of fluorescent pink over there as well. Just as a sort of like gentle highlight. Edges. Yeah. I think I'm pretty happy with how this guy has turned out. Oh, I could also maybe... Could also maybe highlight here. Just on these little vents. I don't think they've already got much. Yeah. Yeah. Ah! Why is my tracking always dying when I do paint streams? Hi, Evie, who's on my chair. I think for now, this is kind of it. I can't really think of anything more I should do to it or want to do to it just yet. But I could find stuff maybe later down the line, maybe. I guess I could do some battle damage and whatnot, but I don't really want to. I don't really feel like I can be asked. I don't know that it needs to, honestly. It's just the scuff. It will scuff in time. For now it's just like finding little bits I want to tidy. Of which there aren't too many, honestly. Which I'm pretty happy about. Like, it took a little while, but we got there in the end. I quite like this overall shimmery metallic purple we've got. I quite like how the metallic kind of shines through every single color that we've used in painting this, except for the bits that I don't want to be metallic at all. Yeah. All roads lead to scuff, whether we want them to or not. This is true. I am scuff eternal. What time is... Oh, it's almost 10. I was thinking maybe we could do motor slice, but I think I want to just like... I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. Because I want to sit down with motor slice for a good couple hours. I could do blasphemous, but I don't really have the energy for something like that. That really requires a lot of focus. Yeah, I think I'll leave motor slice until yeah, I think I'll save motor slice until like Thursday, where I've got a full night to just dedicate to it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy. My favorite mech done in my colors. And I don't think it turned out too badly. I don't think it turned out too badly at all. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just want to chill, cuddle my cat. Ah! God fucking damn it, cat. She pulled my fucking tracker down from where I put it. It fell onto my keyboard, and now things are broken. Mayan. What? Yeah. That was fun to work on. That was fun to work on. I think the rest of the Scuff Star is going to be a little bit different to this, though. We might paint them next week, or we might... I think it's the Cerastus Knight Castigator I think I've got that I would like to do. I think that's my plan, if I can have the time to build it off stream. But otherwise, I guess we'll do the Scuff Star for Battletech, if not. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Yeah. Yeah. I'm also kind of sleepy, I gotta say. Now, the question is, if I were to raid into some... Oh, I can raid into Micah. Micah raided into us the other day, so I think it would be a... It would be a good idea. Thank you all for being here. I love you all. Please take care of yourselves. Make sure that you have a good night. Day, night, wherever you are in the world. Get yourself a little treat. And I will see you tomorrow for Warhammer Wednesday, where we are going to be finishing Warhammer Mark of Chaos's Orc campaign, which is what you guys chose on Discord. So, yeah. I will, that game is very torturously slow-paced, I'm not gonna lie. But here we are, about to finish it. So we might as well just see it through to the end, right? On Thursday, I'll be doing Motor Slice. On Friday, I don't have a stream planned. But maybe if I feel up to it after work, we'll do some game demos and reviews. And Sunday is Games with Chat Night. We'll keep doing more Smelden Ring. We'll keep doing some other games as well. Maybe some more Spaceman. Only this time actually, you know, not dying all the time. Yeah. Thank you all. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Mwah. Mwah.